Demolition is set to begin this week on Sandy Hook Elementary, where 20 students and 6 educators were gunned down last December. The school is expected to be completely torn down before the December 14th anniversary of the shootings. And if you're planning to catch a plane today, you may want to call ahead. As of last night, over 1,500 flights have been canceled ahead of the winter storm. This according to FlightAware.com. 6 to 10 inches of snow is expected to fall in cities across the Northeast. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for New York City starting today from noon until tomorrow morning. 1 in 5. That's how many American households were on food stamps in 2013. Now that's a record high right there. The government says more than 23 million households were on food stamps in fiscal 2013. That's an increase of more than 700,000 from the year before. Smith County deputies are on the hunt for 3 teenagers believed to be responsible for more than a dozen burglaries in Flint. Deputies say 18-year-old Broderick Willis, 19-year-old Peyton Raymond, and 19-year-old Austin Drain are accused of stealing everything from jewelry and purses to guns and cash. Most of those burglaries happened in Running Meadows neighborhood in Flint, as well as Farm to Market roads 2493 and 2813. And now to the investigation of Tuesday's fatal stabbing at Good Shepherd Medical Center in Longview. 2 of the 5 victims who police say were stabbed by 22-year-old Kyron Templeton are still in the hospital. One is in critical condition. A nurse, 57-year-old Gail Sandage, was killed while trying to stop the situation from getting worse. 22-year-old Kyron Templeton is the accused stabber. Judicial courts show Templeton has a short criminal history, 1 charge of theft earlier this year. He was an only child and was very close to his mother. Andrew Spencer reports politicians are still trying to level blame as they struggle to come to any consensus on government spending, the budget, and the debt ceiling. Yeah, numbers show Texas has fully bounced back from the Great Recession of 2007, and now the Lone Star State is leading the charge in job growth. Marlena Hamilton runs the numbers. And President Obama took the hot seat with Fox News yesterday. We'll look back at his interview with Bill O'Reilly next. Now, if you're looking to enlist, you better think twice before heading to the tattoo parlor. In Washington, search and rescue efforts continue after Saturday's landslide. National Guard helicopters aid the search as crews use bulldozers to comb through the debris. Officials say 49 buildings were buried in up to 40 feet of mud. More than a dozen people are confirmed dead, but more than 90 are still missing. The president says he believes there's a greater chance of New York City getting nuked than Russia making a move against our country. Now, he did say Russia's actions are a problem, but they don't constitute it as a threat to Americans. We asked our fellow East Texans if Russia should be our biggest concern. President Obama's remarks on reforming the agency prompted some NSA vets to speak out. They told the press America's intelligence efforts need to improve. They said the agency proved to be fundamentally untrustworthy after Edward Snowden's revelations that made the press want to further investigate. That's why Art Bedford is leading a movement to stop federal overreach. He says the Constitution needs to be amended to limit the power and jurisdiction of the federal government. But in order to amend the Constitution, 2/3 of the state legislatures need to sign the petition. He says most of the problems our country is facing today can be tied back to federal overreach. Bedford says this is not the nation our founding fathers had in mind. Change in rules in Tyler's independent school district is turning heads. Kids with lice can now stay in the classroom. The district is following advice from the 2 organizations, the Centers for Disease Control and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Both say there's no reason to exclude kids with lice from school because it's not a, quote, health issue. The TISD health coordinator tells KETK they're implementing this new policy immediately. Both the Texas Department of State Health Services and the National Association of School Nurses support keeping kids in school, but they're encouraging teachers and parents to tell their kids who have lice to keep their things to themselves so it doesn't spread. It was a terrifying scene near Lindale Saturday morning, a house fire that spread so quick 5 people barely escaped with their lives. Lindale Fire Department tells KETK the call for help came in shortly after midnight off County Road 4104 and 2710. They say the home went up in flames just minutes, and more than a dozen dogs inside the home didn't make it out in time. The Highway 80 rescue mission in Longview has broken ground with a $900,000 expansion project. Since the Women and Children's Shelter is out of space, they're expanding. They'll build 6 family cottages with private bedrooms and bathrooms. There will be twice as many beds as before, making room for 120 women and children a night. They plan to be done with it in May. If you could use some extra cash, one Texas organization would love to give you $1 million. True the Vote is a political nonprofit group created to both identify and mobilize Americans. They're trying to find smoking gun evidence to prove the IRS targeted conservative and Tea Party groups. To qualify, you must provide evidence. This includes emails, eyewitness accounts, or any testimony of political targeting not previously reported. And after racing to buy the best deals on Brown Thursday and Black Friday, shoppers will compete to click the fastest on Cyber Monday. And get this, Career Builder predicts a lot of Americans will be online shopping at work on Cyber Monday. They say 54% will spend 1 to 3 hours clicking away to find the best deals, up from 49% last year. The report also says a lot of employees will browse online deals in their office, not just on Cyber Monday, but throughout the holiday season. Now, if you can, you should avoid the roads at all costs. It's pretty dangerous out there. Here's a picture from yesterday, right before the storm got really bad. Police tell us one car overturned in the 700 block of Shiloh Road. Luckily, no one was injured. Since 3 o'clock yesterday, Smith County DPS has logged more than 100 wrecks in East Texas. Again, several agencies are urging you to avoid driving in this bad weather. If you absolutely have to, please be careful.
East Texas.
Yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Jen Jacobson. Some snow down in East Texas, flurries up here in Tyler. Robert, how much more of that are we going to see?
Well, it was ugly this week for much of the South.
We were fortunate not to get it, but that kind of left us a string of cool weather, huh, Robert?
It sure did. 43 in Tyler.
Continuing to fall here in East Texas.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain coming down. I'm sure a lot of folks at home are wondering just how much longer this is going to last, Katie. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jen Jacobson. Still in the 20s this morning. Lots of ice out there. Marcus, are we going to see any sunshine to melt that away?
Well, we might see a little bit of sunshine.
So now, even though we are a day away from May, you might want to grab that jacket because we are heading into some cool temperatures today, huh?
I'm Bob Brickeen.
And I'm Jen Jacobson. Thanks for sharing part of your holiday with us. And now, if you do have to work, there is a silver lining. Our meteorologist says it's going to be a nice day, isn't it, Robert?
It really is.
Yeah, I still have goosebumps. I'm hoping the temperature will go up from here, hopefully, Robert.
It is. It's going to go up. But
We aren't used to dealing with frigid weather, but folks up north get a lot worse than we do. Check out these pictures from on Lake Superior there in Wisconsin.
Rocky coastlines along the shores turn into a long string of ice caves. As you can see there, folks in Bayfield, Wisconsin can take a stroll of this 2-mile-long frozen lake. This is the first time in 5 years the lake has frozen solid enough to safely hold its explorers. Folks say these ice formations are the most dramatic they've seen in years. Wow, I believe it.
They can have it. You can have all that up there in Wisconsin.
Oh, I'm sure some East Texans would love to
Well,
explore
again,
that.
we'll buy them a bus ticket. We don't
Wow,
want
look
that
how
down
sharp those look. That would hurt you if they fell on you.
Yeah, that'll put your eye out of those things. that's
is
for
that a
sure.
one-way bus ticket you're talking about?
Well, that's all
Yeah.
we can afford here. Photographer had a good laugh, as did everybody else in the newsroom, I'm sure, before pulling him out of the mud.
That is the classic story. Now, we might see some mud out here in East Texas, hopefully not as sticky, but some rain's on the way for the weekend, huh, Robert?